When airport security dog Nova suddenly sat down in front of Gate 27 and refused to move, TSA Officer Rachel Davis thought the German Shepherd was having a behavioral issue. But Nova had been detecting explosives and contraband at Denver International Airport for 5 years with a perfect record. She had never given a false alert. What Nova was detecting at Gate 27 would expose a terrorist plot that was minutes away from execution, and her intervention would save the lives of 300 passengers on Flight 147 to Los Angeles. The morning rush at Denver International Airport was in full swing, with thousands of passengers streaming through security checkpoints, hurrying to catch flights that would take them to destinations across the country. The terminal buzzed with the familiar symphony of modern air travel, rolling suitcases, boarding announcements, and the constant hum of conversation in a dozen languages. TSA Officer Rachel Davis walked through Terminal B with Nova, her 5-year-old German Shepherd partner, conducting their routine explosive detection patrol. It was Tuesday, November 15th, and the airport was particularly busy with early holiday travelers hoping to beat the Thanksgiving rush. Nova wasn't just any airport security dog. She was part of the Transportation Security Administration's elite explosive detection canine team, trained to identify over 30 different types of explosive materials and precursor chemicals. Her nose was so sensitive that she could detect trace amounts of explosives that had been handled hours earlier, even after someone had washed their hands multiple times. In 5 years of service at DIA, Nova had made 247 successful detections, ranging from forgotten fireworks in passengers' luggage to attempted smuggling of commercial explosives. She had never given a false positive alert, making her one of the most reliable detection dogs in the TSA's national program. "Good morning, Nova," Rachel said, as they began their 6 a.m. patrol route through the terminal. The dog's ears perked forward, alert and ready for work. Nova lived for these moments, the systematic searching that utilized every aspect of her extensive training. Their route took them past the main security checkpoints, through the shopping and restaurant areas, and along the gate areas where passengers waited to board their flights. Nova worked methodically, her black nose constantly sampling the air currents that carried scent information from every corner of the terminal. But the truly shocking thing is, as they approached Gate 27, where passengers were boarding United Flight 147 to Los Angeles, Nova's behavior suddenly changed from routine searching to intense alert mode. The German Shepherd stopped dead in her tracks about 20 feet from the gate area, her body going rigid as she detected something that triggered every alarm bell in her trained instincts. Her ears shot forward, her tail stiffened, and she assumed the sitting position that indicated she had detected explosive materials. "Nova, what is it?" Rachel asked, immediately switching to high alert mode herself. In 5 years of working together, she had learned to trust Nova's instincts completely. When Nova alerted, there was always a reason, but this alert was different from Nova's usual behavior. Instead of indicating a specific piece of luggage or pointing toward a particular person, Nova had positioned herself to block access to the entire gate area. She sat directly in the pathway that passengers would use to board the aircraft, as if she were trying to prevent anyone from getting on the plane. It was at this exact moment that everything changed, because Nova wasn't just detecting explosives in someone's luggage. She was detecting an imminent threat to the aircraft itself, and her training was telling her to prevent the boarding process from continuing. Rachel immediately radioed for backup and began the protocol for a positive explosive detection. "Control, this is Davis with Nova at Gate 27. I have a positive alert, requesting immediate supervisory response and possible gate shutdown." Within minutes, TSA Supervisor Mark Chen arrived with additional officers and the airport's explosive ordnance disposal team. Nova maintained her alert position, refusing to move despite the growing commotion around her. "What's she indicating?" Chen asked Rachel. "That's what's strange," Rachel replied. "She's not pointing to a specific item or person. She's blocking the entire gate area, like she's trying to stop the boarding process." Flight 147 was a Boeing 737-800 scheduled to depart for Los Angeles in 30 minutes, carrying 289 passengers and 6 crew members. The passengers were already lined up to board, growing increasingly agitated by the delay and the presence of security personnel. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet, because when the explosive ordnance disposal team began their systematic search of the gate area, they discovered that the threat wasn't in the terminal at all. Nova was detecting explosive residue that was coming from someone who had already boarded the aircraft. The discovery that Nova was detecting explosives from someone already on the aircraft triggered the airport's highest-level security response. Flight 18047 was immediately stopped from departing, and all passengers were asked to deplane for a security screening. FBI Special Agent Sarah Martinez arrived on scene within 20 minutes, bringing with her a team of federal agents specializing in aviation terrorism threats. What they found would reveal a plot that had been months in the making. Nova's alert pattern suggests someone with significant explosive residue on their clothing or belongings boarded that aircraft, Agent Martinez explained to the assembled security team. This isn't trace contamination from handling fireworks or working in construction. This is someone who has been in direct contact with military-grade explosives very recently. Nova remained in alert mode throughout the deplaning process, her focus never wavering from the aircraft. As each passenger exited, Nova would briefly assess them, but her primary attention stayed locked on the plane itself. The passenger screening process revealed 3 individuals carrying false identification documents, but it was the 4th person who caught Nova's attention in a way that sent chills through the security team. Marcus Webb, traveling under the name David Johnson, was a 34-year-old man carrying a laptop bag that Nova immediately alerted to with the most intense response Rachel had ever seen from her partner. The dog's entire body trembled with the effort of containing her training, which told her to alert to explosive threats but never to engage physically with human subjects. That bag, Rachel told Agent Martinez. Nova's never reacted like this to anything. Whatever's in there, it's not just explosive residue. The explosive ordnance disposal team carefully examined the laptop bag using portable X-ray equipment. What they found inside would change aviation security protocols forever. Wait a second, don't miss this detail, because the laptop bag didn't contain a traditional bomb. It contained a sophisticated device designed to disable the aircraft's navigation and communication systems, combined with a secondary explosive charge timed to detonate after the plane was already airborne and out of contact with air traffic control. This is a new type of terrorist attack, Agent Martinez explained during the emergency briefing that followed. They weren't trying to blow up the plane in the terminal. They were planning to disable the aircraft's systems and cause it to crash far from the airport, making it look like an accident rather than terrorism. The device was sophisticated enough that it would have been nearly impossible to detect using conventional security screening. Only Nova's extraordinary ability to detect trace explosive compounds had identified the threat before it could be executed. Marcus Webb, whose real name was Ali Hassan, was part of a terrorist cell that had been planning this attack for over a year. The laptop device represented a new evolution in aviation terrorism, attacks designed to look like accidents while actually being carefully orchestrated mass casualties. But the truly shocking thing is, Nova's detection had uncovered not just one attack, but the first phase of a coordinated series of attacks planned for airports across the United States. The arrest of Ali Hassan triggered a nationwide terrorism investigation that revealed the scope of a plot targeting commercial aviation across multiple states. Hassan, under interrogation, revealed that identical attacks were planned for airports in Chicago, Atlanta, and New York, all scheduled to occur within the same 72-hour period. FBI Director James Foster held a press conference announcing the disruption of what would have been the most devastating terrorist attack on American aviation since 9/11. The alert actions of TSA Officer Davis and her canine partner Nova prevented a catastrophic loss of life and exposed a sophisticated terrorist network. Nova's detection had started a chain reaction that led to the arrest of 12 terrorist operatives and the seizure of enough explosive materials to carry out attacks on 6 commercial aircraft. The plot had been financed by overseas terrorist organizations and had taken over 2 years to plan and execute. Nova detected something that our most advanced screening technology missed, explained Dr. Robert Kim, director of the TSA's Canine Training Program. Her ability to identify the specific explosive compounds used in these devices was crucial to understanding how the terrorist planned to circumvent our security measures. The investigation revealed that the terrorist cell had been conducting test runs for months, using smaller amounts of explosive materials to determine how much they could carry through security screening without detection. They had not accounted for the sensitivity of properly trained explosive detection dogs. Flight 18047's passengers, initially frustrated by the delay, learned of their narrow escape from disaster when the story broke on national news. Many credited Nova with saving their lives, and several organized a fundraising campaign for police and military working dog programs. It was at this exact moment that everything changed, because Nova's success led to immediate changes in airport security protocols nationwide, with increased deployment of explosive detection dogs and new training programs focused on detecting the specific types of devices used in the plot. The Department of Homeland Security announced the largest expansion of the Canine Detection Program in TSA history, with plans to triple the number of explosive detection dog teams at major airports within 2 years. Nova proved that our canine partners are our most effective tool for detecting sophisticated terrorist threats, said DHS Secretary Lisa Park,
We're investing heavily in expanding this program because it saves lives. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet, because the terrorist plot Nova uncovered was connected to a larger network of sleeper cells that had been planning coordinated attacks on American infrastructure for over 5 years. The disruption of the aviation terrorist plot triggered the largest domestic terrorism investigation since 9/11, with FBI field offices in all 50 states working to identify and arrest members of the terrorist network. Nova's detection had provided the crucial breakthrough that allowed law enforcement to unravel the entire conspiracy. Over the following weeks, raids conducted based on information obtained from the arrested terrorists led to the discovery of weapons caches, bomb-making facilities, and safe houses across the country. The network had been planning attacks on airports, train stations, shopping centers, and government buildings. Nova became a key part of the ongoing investigation, with her ability to detect specific explosive compounds helping investigators locate hidden materials and identify additional suspects. Her success rate remained perfect, leading to the discovery of terrorist materials in locations that human investigators had missed. Nova has become our most valuable asset in this investigation, Agent Martinez said during a briefing for federal prosecutors. Her detections have led to evidence that has been crucial in building our cases against the entire network. The captured terrorists had been using a sophisticated communication system that had allowed them to coordinate their activities across multiple states while avoiding detection by traditional surveillance methods. They had planned their attacks to occur simultaneously, overwhelming emergency response capabilities and maximizing casualties. This was designed to be another 9/11, explained counterterrorism expert Dr. Jennifer Walsh. Nova's alert prevented not just one aircraft disaster, but a coordinated attack that could have killed thousands of people. The investigation revealed that the terrorist network had been recruiting operatives for over 5 years, focusing on individuals with technical backgrounds who could build sophisticated explosive devices. They had established bomb-making facilities in abandoned warehouses and rural properties across the country. But the truly shocking thing is, the investigation uncovered evidence that the network had successfully infiltrated several airports and transportation hubs, placing operatives in positions where they could gather intelligence about security procedures. 3 airport employees and 2 TSA contractors were arrested for providing information to the terrorist network, including details about shift schedules, security protocols, and the deployment patterns of K-9 detection teams. They had been studying our security measures for years, TSA Administrator Mark Foster explained during congressional testimony. They knew everything about our procedures except for one thing: the exceptional capabilities of dogs like Nova. The prosecution of the terrorist network took place over 18 months in federal courts across multiple jurisdictions. The evidence collected through Nova's detections and the subsequent investigation provided prosecutors with detailed documentation of the conspiracy and the planned attacks. Nova attended many of the trial proceedings, serving as a living reminder of how the plot had been discovered and disrupted. Her calm presence in the courtroom seemed to comfort the family members of passengers who had been on Flight 1847. Ali Hassan, the terrorist who had been carrying the laptop bomb, was convicted on multiple charges including conspiracy to commit terrorism, attempted use of a weapon of mass destruction, and conspiracy to destroy aircraft. He received a life sentence without possibility of parole. Your plot would have killed 295 innocent people on Flight 1847, the judge said during Hassan's sentencing. It was only prevented by the exceptional skills of a security dog and her handler. The other members of the terrorist network received sentences ranging from 25 years to life in prison. The financial assets they had used to fund their operations were seized and used to enhance airport security programs and support victims of terrorism. Wait a second, don't miss this detail, because Nova's role in exposing the plot led to her receiving the highest civilian honor ever awarded to a working dog by the Department of Homeland Security. The ceremony was attended by the 295 passengers and crew members from Flight 1847, many of whom credited Nova with saving their lives. Several passengers spoke about how the experience had changed their understanding of the security measures that protect air travelers. I was frustrated by the delay when they made us get off the plane, said passenger Jennifer Walsh. Now I realize that Nova was saving my life and the lives of everyone on that flight. The recognition ceremony was also attended by representatives from airports across the country, many of whom had implemented enhanced K-9 programs based on the lessons learned from Nova's success. What you've seen so far is nothing, because Nova's detection of the terrorist plot led to fundamental changes in how aviation security approaches the threat of sophisticated explosive devices. 3 years after Nova's detection at Gate 27, her impact on aviation security continued to influence policies and procedures at airports worldwide. The techniques developed during the terrorist investigation had been adopted by security agencies in over 30 countries. Nova had become the gold standard for explosive detection dogs, with her training methods being studied and replicated at K-9 academies around the world. Her success had proven that properly trained dogs could detect threats that even the most advanced technology might miss. Nova changed how we think about airport security, explained Dr. Sarah Kim director of the International Airport Security Association. Her case proved that canine detection capabilities are essential for identifying sophisticated terrorist threats. Flight 1847, which had been scheduled to fly to Los Angeles on that November morning, was retired from service and converted into a training aircraft for emergency responders. A plaque in the cabin commemorated Nova's life-saving detection and the lives that were saved by her alert. The passengers from Flight 1847 had formed an association to advocate for enhanced airport security and support for working dog programs. They raised over $500,000 to fund canine training programs and provide equipment for airport security teams. You won't believe it, but Nova's genetic lineage had become highly sought after by security agencies worldwide, with several of her offspring showing exceptional abilities in explosive detection work. 2 of Nova's puppies were working at major international airports, and both had shown remarkable success in detecting sophisticated explosive devices. Researchers studying Nova's abilities believed that her extraordinary sensitivity was partly genetic, leading to improved breeding programs for security dogs. The Denver International Airport had established the Nova Training Center, a specialized facility for training explosive detection dogs. The center used techniques developed through Nova's work and had become a model for similar programs worldwide. But the truly shocking thing is, Nova's success had inspired changes beyond aviation security, with her detection methods being adapted for use in securing other critical infrastructure and public spaces. Nova's story had spread far beyond the United States, inspiring security agencies worldwide to enhance their K-9 programs and develop new techniques for detecting sophisticated terrorist threats. The Nova protocol had been adopted by airports in Europe, Asia, and South America. Nova's case study is required reading for security personnel at every major airport, explained International Civil Aviation Organization Director Carlos Martinez. Her detection capabilities have become the benchmark for aviation security worldwide. The terrorist plot that Nova had disrupted had connections to international networks, and her success had helped law enforcement agencies in 12 countries identify and arrest additional operatives. The investigation had revealed a global infrastructure for planning and executing terrorist attacks on civilian aviation. British security services credited Nova's case with helping them identify and disrupt a similar plot targeting London's Heathrow Airport. French authorities used techniques developed during the Nova investigation to uncover a terrorist cell planning attacks on Charles de Gaulle Airport. Nova's impact extends far beyond American aviation, said European Union Counter-Terrorism Coordinator Dr. Maria Santos. Her case has helped protect travelers worldwide. The International Association of Airport Security had established the Nova Award, recognizing exceptional achievements in aviation security by K-9 teams. The first recipient was a Belgian Malinois named Alex, who had detected a similar sophisticated device at Brussels Airport. It was at this exact moment that everything changed, because Nova's influence had created a new generation of security dogs specifically trained to detect the types of sophisticated devices used by modern terrorists. The training programs developed based on Nova's methods had produced over 200 detection dogs with similar capabilities, deployed at airports and other critical infrastructure sites around the world. These dogs had been responsible for detecting and preventing dozens of potential terrorist attacks. Today, 8 years after Nova's detection at Gate 27, her legacy continues to protect travelers worldwide. The techniques she pioneered have become standard procedure at airports globally, and her training methods are used to prepare new generations of security dogs. Nova, now 13 years old, has officially retired from active duty but continues to work as a training consultant and ambassador for working dog programs. She visits schools, community groups, and law enforcement agencies, helping to educate people about the crucial role that security dogs play in protecting public safety. Nova represents the very best of what working dogs can achieve, said current TSA Administrator Dr. Jennifer Park. Her detection of that terrorist plot not only saved 295 lives that day, but her legacy continues to protect millions of travelers every year. The Nova Foundation, established with donations from grateful travelers and security agencies, provides funding for canine training programs and research into new detection techniques. The foundation has trained over 300 security dogs and has funded research that has led to improved detection capabilities. Wait a second. Don't miss this detail, because Nova's influence had extended beyond security work to inspire a new generation of young people to pursue careers in law enforcement and public safety.
The passengers from Flight 1847 included several teenagers who were so inspired by Nova's life-saving detection that they went on to study criminal justice, security technology, and canine handling. 3 of them now work for federal agencies in roles directly related to transportation security. Nova's story had been documented in books, documentaries, and training materials used by security agencies worldwide. Her image appeared in recruitment materials for TSA and other law enforcement agencies, inspiring young people to consider careers in public safety. What you've seen so far is nothing, because the lessons learned from Nova's work had transformed how society approaches the challenge of detecting and preventing sophisticated terrorist attacks. The Nova effect described the increased success rate in detecting terrorist threats when properly trained explosive detection dogs were deployed early in security screening processes. Airports that implemented Nova protocol reported a 300% increase in detection rates for sophisticated explosive devices. Every day,
Millions of air travelers pass through airport security checkpoints around the world, protected by security measures that were enhanced because of a German shepherd named Nova, who refused to let passengers board a flight that would have ended in tragedy. Rachel and Nova, though both officially retired, continue to visit Denver International Airport regularly. The memorial display near Gate 27 has become a pilgrimage site for travelers, security personnel, and dog lovers from around the world. The display includes Nova's original TSA badge, photographs from her career, and testimonials from the passengers whose lives she saved. Most prominently featured is a simple plaque that reads, "Heroes come in many forms. Sometimes they have 4 legs, extraordinary instincts, and the courage to block a gate when lives are at stake." Remember, sometimes the most important security measures are not the sophisticated machines or complex procedures, but the instincts of those who are trained to detect danger that others cannot see. Nova's story reminds us that protecting public safety requires vigilance, training, and the wisdom to trust those who communicate through actions rather than words. Her legacy continues through every security dog that keeps watch over travelers, ensuring that the skies remain safe for all. Thank you for following Nova's incredible journey from routine airport patrol to terrorism prevention hero. Her story proves that heroism comes in many forms, and sometimes the greatest protection comes from those who are trained to detect threats that human technology cannot identify. We want to hear from you. Have you ever witnessed a security dog making a detection at an airport? Do you think K9 programs should be expanded at all major transportation hubs? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If Nova's story inspired you, please share this video with someone who believes in the importance of aviation security and supporting the working dogs who protect us every day. Don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories of animal heroes who dedicate their lives to keeping us safe. Sometimes saving hundreds of lives begins with simply trusting a dog who refuses to let you board a plane.